Welcoming Carla Esparza to the program. Cookie Monster, of course, just had a great win in Las Vegas back on April 23rd. Juliana Lima, I actually got to watch it live, so it was good for me to actually see you fight live again. How'd you feel about that fight coming into it, especially after such a long layoff? You know.
It's funny because even after such a long layoff, it was still like a last minute fight. I just kind of was getting tired. I wasn't hearing back about, a date for myself. So I was just like, you know what? I just want to get out there. I don't care. I'm very anxious. It's been long enough. So just, I was like not expecting to even them, agree to the fight, but I was just like, oh, I'm down for this fight. And they were like, yep. They told me like within a couple hours. So I was like, all right, I'm in.
How much time did you have to get ready?
I had like 3 weeks to train, and then I flew out that next week.
So a month essentially. That week of of being in Vegas is not training at all. It's just keeping sharp.
Yeah.
You were obviously training and doing rehab and stuff because you were injured and all that. But you were trying to do all that before, so you weren't just sitting on the couch not doing anything. But how close were you being in a training shape when they said yes?
I mean, I didn't even feel like I was in total, shape by the time the fight came. I wasn't where I wanted to be. I was training, maybe like once or twice a day, a few days a week. Would take time off here or there. Diet definitely wasn't on point, and that is huge. I had just come back from Hawaii. I took a quick trip there. It was St. Patty's Day, just having fun kind of, which, I was still training, but I think, getting your rest and eating right is also part of being in shape.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And so now, did you have a conversation with your coaches before you said, hey, I want to do this fight?
Yeah, I actually always asked my coach, Coach Oyama, before the fight, like, what do you think? Are we going to take it? Yes or no? Whatever he says, it's always like, I'll always listen to him.
Yeah, he's been really good for your career, too, because he has took you off a couple, not taking you off, but said, no, we shouldn't fight this person at this particular time, or yeah, this is definitely a fight for you right now. I mean, he's been good. He's been a really great coach and honestly kind of not really well known, which is weird. Like, we know him because I was in California for so long and I saw him running around the scene in the early days, but most people don't really know Oyama. They just don't know him because he really, after, was it Rampage? After Rampage kind of shifted camps, that was kind of, his last super big, big name star back in the day until you came along,
Yeah, definitely. I think the people that are in the sport and that have been in the sport for a while, they know my coach. But as far as, he's not like out there and out in the public eye and known as well as, say a Greg Jackson or something like that. But I mean, I think he's definitely up, he's at that level. For me, I think he's the best coach in the world.
Yeah. And it's shown as your improvement and your game has come a long way just in the last 4 or 5 fights. You see how much you've improved on. That's all from Coach Oyama. I got to ask, though, what did your mom say when you said, hey, Mom, I'm going to take this fight in 3 weeks?
What does my mom say about what?
What did your mom say when you said, I'm going to take this fight?
Oh, my mom, she's really cute. She's like, oh, my gosh, Carla, so soon. Oh, my gosh, I need to help you. What can I do? Like, she's excited for me, but she's also, like, worried because she's like, is that enough time? And my mom, like, totally follows the sport, because of me, like she follows the women than anything and my weight class. And she's like, oh, this girl's tough. And she'll give me tips and everything.
That's awesome. Now, how close does your mom live to you in Orange County?
My mom lives about 45 minutes away. She comes up every Friday and we kind of hang out.
You do see, that was my next question, is how often do you see Mom? So every week. Okay.
Yeah, every week.
And so she's your big support. She's like, of course, having family is your big support. Who else do you lean on for family stuff? Not just like, not camps, not coaches, not nutrition, but it's like day-to-day life stuff. Like, who else do you lean on?
I mean, I hang out with my dad. I try to hang out with him once every week or 2 weeks at least. It's just, I'm the only child. So, my parents are like my everything. And, as far as that, I just have a lot of close friends like Ashley Evans Smith, as much as, we've been best friends, we wrestled in college together, but we just recently started training at the same gym, but for like our whole career, we've, trained at different gyms, just kind of hung out. And it's good to have someone to like vent to who kind of understands what you're going through. And like Felice Herrig, also my best friend, but she's more far. So it's more of like, on the phone, we get to kind of like touch base, and she really understands, what I got going on because we're in the same weight class, so we know like this girl, that person, and she knows, like, you know, what everything we went through with the Ultimate Fighter even made us closer.
Do you hang around a lot of male fighters too? You have a lot of male friends that fight in the sport. Do you find, what's the difference you see between the women fighters and the men fighters, like personality wise?
I mean, I would say that the women are a lot of like the guys in a way, you know, just compared to your average female, you know, we're like, let's go train, you know, they're more active, but the guys are it's definitely a different kind of conversation. You can't like sit there and talk about shoes and purses and guys, you know, it's a little bit different. I prefer more hanging with the girls. I mean, the guys are my teammates and I love them, but I'm more just hang out with my girlfriends.
Yeah, you are. It's funny. You are kind of a girly girl in a male dominated sport. It's kind of funny to like. You would think that in the sport that most of the girls would be like kind of gruff and a little bit more masculine, right? But you're kind of like you and Felice especially like girly girls. You're like love getting dressed up, love getting your hair done, love going shopping. It's like okay, this kind of doesn't fit the stereotype, but it's great because it brings in girls like my daughter. It brings in people that you wouldn't ever think would want to play attention to any sports and like do not like sports at all. But they're following women's MMA because of the fact that they can relate to everybody. They can relate to all of you. So it's kind of cool to see that happen. I like it. And for me, I love it. I love the different personalities in it.
Yeah, and I think it's cool, like, you know, things like the Ultimate Fighter and social media kind of put people's personalities out there, too. So it's not just all about, like, this rough, crazy sport. It's like you get the softer side sometimes. And some chicks are into, like, you know, just guy stuff and, you know, but it's cool because you have people from all walks of life coming into the sport.
Yeah, I don't even know if you're watching. Are you watching the new TUF right now?
Yeah, I've been watching.
You've been watching it. How do you think the coaches are coming off? Do you think it's editing because you've been in the house? You think it's editing? Or is this really what people are like? No, that's really how that person is.
I think they're kind of like Joanna's kind of coming off kind of how she always does. You know, but maybe people don't really see, like, on the sideline because, you know, obviously I fought her. So, you know, I know that she's, like, kind of a trash talker, get in your face, like, what? I'm going to beat you. But maybe, like, the fans don't see that because they might not watch, like, the press conferences and all, you know, every little thing. So I think you kind of just get more of her personality as a competitor. And that's totally different than, you know, maybe her personality at home. But just when it comes to, like, opponents, I think she tends to be like more in your face and aggressive with her words and stuff. And I think actually Claudia is the same way. I've been scheduled to fight her a couple times and not before the fight, but I've known her to have a trash talking with quite a few girls in the sport. And I think just because Joanna's more aggressive, it kind of makes Claudia maybe look good or kind of more like she's being bullied, even though I personally have seen her be kind of like bully people and be kind of aggressive.
So it's a little bit editing, a little bit. We're starting to see the real personalities, a little bit. You know, it's all kind of. To me, it's a lot of editing. Like reality shows, there's really not that much reality in them. A lot of times, I've talked to other athletes that've been in the TUF house. Like I don't even know where that conversation came from because that was like a different conversation. Was that one answer, and that my other answer was a totally different conversation than what was actually shown. Like it was completely different. Like really, they edited that much. Then you come to find out later. They were having two conversations at the table at the same time, and then they were piecing it together. It was like it's just crazy how this thing goes together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and obviously I've been on that end of it and seen it, and it's just like, you know, and stuff that they do show and stuff that they don't show. It's like, you know, one person has one bad day, and then the other person's always, you know, a jerk or something, and then they have one good day, and you kind of just only see that little piece of, you know, what's going on. So it's kind of really hard to gauge what's really going down as opposed to what you see on TV, I think.
Now, be honest. Are you watching a TUF show because of the competition, or are you watching a TUF show because you want to see what the coaches are like because that's your weight class?
Oh, sorry, couldn't hear that one.
I said, are you watching a TUF show because you want to see what the coaches are like because they're in your weight class, or are you actually watching the show because you want to see the competitors?
I think I'm actually really interested in the show. Like the first full-on season I watched was the season 18 with the girls and the guys. For me, it makes it a little bit more interesting, you know, with the girls on the show. And but obviously it's my weight class I'm watching, and I actually know one of the girls, Tatiana Suarez, so I'm excited for her. I think she's going to do well.
You haven't heard anything? No inside track. No, she didn't spill the beans to you at all because that was a $5 million lawsuit they put on you if you spilled too early.
Yeah, something like
You
that.
you have an inside track you're not willing to share. Okay, thanks. I appreciate that, Carla.
But even before the show started, I was like, this girl's gonna, I think she's someone to watch. Just because I know her from wrestling, and she, her and I met my first year of wrestling, and she'd been wrestling since she was 3 years old. She was a stud. In the local area, she's really well known in SoCal for kind of just even beating up a lot of the guys in competition.
Yeah, I have heard of her before, and I have to admit, I'm not watching the show right now. I try to catch up and get everything all at one time. I don't like the drama in the house. It doesn't interest me. I don't really care about it. It doesn't make the fighters any more appealing to me. All I care about is the fights and how they fight. I don't care.
Yeah.
I said it before when John Jones was all coked up. Like, I don't care if it's not illegal on the drug testing. He can do whatever he wants. Once it's illegal, then he's got to stop doing it. I just want to see him fight. That's all I care about is what's he going to do as he fights.
Yeah, exactly.
Last question before I let you out of here. You just fought. It's not even a week removed yet, right? And what do you do? Like, it's Friday. You fought last week Saturday. It's been 6 days. Are you on vacation right now, or are you ramping up to go train right now? Like, what are you doing the next week from now till next week Friday?
Actually, I am on vacation right now. You see, I got this little umbrella going right here. I'm staying at this tiny house. I don't know if you've heard of a tiny house before. This is the first time I've heard about it, but my friend actually had it set up, my friend Alyssa. So I'm excited. I'm in Santa Barbara right now. Kind of kept it like a little low key. I usually go on more of like a big vacation to like Costa Rica or like, Australia or whatever. But I decided actually to donate a little bit of money to the people suffering from the earthquakes in Ecuador. So with that, I just decided to kind of like keep it low key and not spend so much money like on lavish vacations.
That's good though. And then you got to tell me, text me later and tell me how the tiny house is and what you like about it. And I follow you on all your social networking, so take photos and post them if you can, because I want to see it. Like I've read all about them, I've seen them on the internet, but I have not been in one myself yet. You'd be the first person I know that's actually been in one, so I want to check it out for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I would actually take you on a little tour inside, but my friend's taking a shower in there.
Go. We can do it right now then. Go ahead. It's totally fine. Carla, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it, especially on vacation. I know I'm trying to break away from the sport is what you like to do after you fight. And thanks for coming on here. I really appreciate it. Also want to send thanks to Brian Butler for making it happen, your manager, because it was, I know better than, I was not expecting anything. I was like, hey, when she's ready to go, let me know. He's like, oh, maybe tomorrow. I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So I appreciate that.
It's always good to talk to you, though. It's always good to catch up.
You too. I'm so glad I was there to get to watch you fight live. I'm so happy you had a great victory, and I can't wait to see you fight again soon.
Yeah, me too.
Take care, Carla. Have a great rest of your vacation. We'll talk later.
Cool. Thanks. Good talking to you. Bye.